There's been a lot of talk going on about my brother Special Ed, one of our old school hip hop artists. He was on Drink Champs with Nori. And he made a comment about NWA and the impact that they had on hip hop and the gangster culture within the black community. And so some of our West Coast hip hop artists, brothers and sisters, some of them took issue with Special Ed comment. Now, whether you agree with his words or not is one thing. But if we are going to be totally honest, brothers and sisters, and I love my West Coast hip hop. Snoop Dogg, one of the most likable rappers. Dr. Dre, one of the most successful black businessmen of all time. You feel me? I love my West Coast rappers. Corrupt, that's my brother right there. I love my West Coast artists. Kendrick, one of the greatest lyricists of all time. He also was more on the positive side. So we not disrespecting the West Coast hip hop. I love my Los Angeles, my Compton, my South Central family. I love LA. I love my West Coast Africans. But we do have to be honest, brothers and sisters. NWA did not start gangbanging. NWA did not start black on black crime. NWA did not start the misogyny of the black woman. NWA did not start mass incarceration. They were not the beginning of gangster rap. There was gangster rappers before NWA. However, NWA was the most intense. When NWA hit the scene, they were the most intense gangster rap group we had ever seen. They took the profanity to a whole new level. They took the celebration of gang banging to a whole new level. They took the promotion of drug selling and black on black violence to a whole new level. Okay? But we are not going to scapegoat NWA. We are not going to scapegoat NWA because guess what? NWA sold them records because we was listening to it. NWA sold the records because we were listening. NWA sold the records because we were listening to NWA. So what I'm saying is, we cannot be hypocrites. We made NWA what they were. So, although Special Ed was largely correct in what he said, NWA took it, the negativity, the gangster rap culture, they took it to a whole new level, but we made them great. We listened to it. So there is no evaluation of NWA that can be made separate from the entire hip hop community. There is no evaluation of NWA without an evaluation of the collaboration that the black community had in the success of NWA. And I want to say this. When you look at gangster rap today, when you look at gangster rap today, when you look at gangster rap today, the gangster rap music today makes NWA look like a gospel choir. The gangster rap music today makes NWA look like a gospel choir. NWA didn't invent drill rap. NWA didn't invent drill rap. The gangster rap today makes NWA looks like a gospel choir. So what am I saying? I believe the ancestors used special ed. Shout out to special ed. I believe the ancestors used special ed to force a conversation about the future of hip hop music. I believe the ancestors used special ed to force a conversation about hip hop music, because this entire celebratory moment in hip hop, this entire 50 years celebration of hip hop, I've been saying we need a conversation on gangster rap, its negative impact, and the future of the hip hop culture. I've been saying this, but nobody has had that conversation. But because special ed made the controversial comment, which I don't think was controversial, special ed made the controversial comment, which I don't think is controversial, but because special ed made the controversial comment, which I don't think is controversial, now we got to have the conversation. Special ed forced a conversation on the impact gangster rap has had on the hip hop community. Thank you, special ed, for forcing the conversation on the impact gangster rap has had on the black community. Thank you, special ed, for forcing the conversation on the impact gangster rap has had on the black community. Now, I understand there's going to be a conversation about NWA's impact. And let us be clear. Let us be clear. NWA, they was young black men like the rest of us. Ice Cube, MC Ren, who I think is one of the greatest artists of all time. DJ Yella. Rest in peace to Eazy-E. They were young black men. They were teenagers and young adults. They went through the same process of manhood all black men go through. They were babies, y'all. They were babies. Just like all of us, do I want to be a gangster? Do I want to be a revolutionary? NWA went through that. Their music embodied that. Ice Cube kind of grew on from that, went into more conscious music. Okay? Snoop Dogg came out of that. He started doing more positive things. 50 Cent came out of that. Kendrick, who could be considered a positive rapper, he came out of the NWA family tree. Exhibit, one of the great underrated actors of all time. So there was some good that came out of it. But we do have to take accountability for the fact that NWA did take gangster rap to a whole new level. But they were children. They were children. They needed guidance from the OGs and they didn't get it. You can't blame a child for experiencing growing pains. You can't blame a child for experiencing growing pains. So we ain't canceling NWA. They are part of the history. They are part of the culture. We can't cancel them. If we're going to cancel them, you got to cancel half the rappers rapping right now. 90% of your popular artists are gangster rappers who make NWA look like a gospel choir. So when y'all go to LA and have this conversation, special ed and the East Coast rappers and the West Coast rappers, and y'all sit down at the table of brotherhood, when special ed and the East Coast rappers go to the West Coast and sit down with Corrupt and Daz and Exhibit and Snoop and everybody else and have this kind of game and have this conversation, I don't want y'all to only focus on the history of NWA. That would not be in our benefit. NWA has come and gone. That would not be in our benefit. Talk about gangster rap as an issue. Don't limit this to NWA. If you limit this conversation to NWA's impact, you do us a disservice. You can start with that, but you can't end with that. You can start with that, but you can't end with that. Talk about gangster rap, period. Talk about gangster rap today and whether or not it's in the best interest of the black community. That should be the conversation. That should be the conversation. That should be the conversation. You could start with NWA, but don't limit it there. We're not going to make NWA the scapegoat. We're not going to make NWA the scapegoat. We're not going to make NWA the scapegoat. Special Ed was right, but we're not going to make NWA the scapegoat. What about gangster rap today? At least when NWA was out, you still had Public Enemy. When NWA was out, you still had X-Clan. When NWA was out, you still had Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, Poor Righteous Teachers. When NWA was out, you still had alternatives. Prominent hip-hop alternatives. We don't have no alternatives today. We have very few alternatives today. I think Dead Prez is still doing their thing here and there. Arrested Development may still be doing their thing here and there, but we ain't got no alternatives today. Hip-hop is totally colonized by gangster rap today. Hip-hop has been totally colonized and compromised by hip-hop today. So have a conversation about right now. But let's not be dishonest. Let's not act like telling women to put their mouth on your penis is somehow beneficial to the black community. Let's stop acting like gangster rappers only reflect the neighborhood they come from, because most of them don't live in that neighborhood no more. So why you still rapping about it? Most gangster rappers don't live in the neighborhood no more. So why you still rapping about drugs, killing people, going to jail, smoking weed, sexually exploiting black women? Most of you don't even live in the ghetto. So if your excuse is, I'm only rapping about what I see, you don't see that no more because you don't live there no more. We got to have an honest conversation and stop this hypocrisy. See, the problem is black people don't like being held accountable. The problem is black people don't like being held accountable. You do have J. Cole, shout out to J. Cole. But the problem is black people don't want to be held accountable. If we're going to sit here and act like gangster rap is good for the black community, we're being dishonest. If we're going to sit here and act like gangster rap is somehow good for the black community, we're being dishonest. If we're going to sit here and act like NWA was the public enemy of the West Coast, we are being dishonest. We are being dishonest. Talking about women giving you oral sex on the record ain't got nothing to do with protest music. Talking about blowing another black man's brains out has nothing to do with protest music. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Stand up and be held accountable. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. I wouldn't mind participating in the conversation. I grew up in the hip hop era. I remember when NWA broke. I remember listening to the music and the whole nine. But this is not just about NWA. It is about gangster rap and the future of hip hop music. This conversation is not just about NWA. They were 5 young black men finding their way who found fame and fortune along the path. Quick announcement. FDMG, we had the HVAC inspection. FDMG, we had the HVAC inspection. FDMG, we had the HVAC inspection. There's a few things we have to repair. There's a few things we have to repair in order to pass the HVAC inspection. And we had our pre-building inspection. The inspector told us a couple things we got to work on for the building. So with that being said, it's nothing major. Most of the repairs are straightforward. But with that being said, we will not be having the grand opening Kwanzaa week. You can free your Kwanzaa calendar, brothers and sisters. Go ahead and free up your Kwanzaa calendar. We will not be having a community grand opening in Kwanzaa because we have to get these repairs done. It's only a couple things, but repairs are slow. Repairs come slow. So because of that, we're going to push back off the Kwanzaa grand opening. Go ahead and free your Kwanzaa up. I'll be going on a Kwanzaa tour. This is what we're going to do. New Year's Day, we got 90 days. New Year's Day, we got 90 days. New Year's Day, we got 90 days. I'm going to make the announcement on whether we're going to have the grand opening Black History Month, February, or if we're going to do the grand opening in the spring when it's warm. And you can let me know your opinion. What is your opinion? Should we have the grand opening in Black History Month? Because FDMG is Black History. So should we have the grand opening Black History Month? Or should we wait till it's warm outside and have the indoor and outdoor at the same time? Should we go ahead and have the community grand opening in February, Black History Month? Or should we go ahead and wait 2 more months until spring and have the FDMG annual festival in the spring, indoor and outdoor? Let me know your thoughts, brothers and sisters. Should we keep it in Black History because we are Black History? Should we keep the FDMG grand opening in Black History because we are Black History? Or should we wait till spring and do the indoor and the outdoor? What are your thoughts? Text me. You can text me 215-989-9858. In the meantime, I need somebody who can repair drop ceiling. I need somebody who can repair drop ceiling racks. I need some drop ceiling racks repaired in the school, drop ceiling racks. I need someone who could put up a fence and a gate, Black Fence and Gate Company. Does anybody know of a black fencing and gate company? Does anybody know of a black fence and gate company? Does anybody know of someone who can repair drop ceiling racks? The metal racks. Some of our racks are not balanced. We got to balance our drop ceiling racks. I need someone who can balance drop ceiling racks. Also, African wallpaper, African print wallpaper, professional, high quality African print wallpaper. African print wallpaper. Do you know anyone who does high quality African print industrial wallpaper? African print. Brothers and sisters, so community grand opening will not be Kwanzaa. It'll be February or spring. I'm going to make the decision, but I want your input. Let me know what you think. How are my African queens doing? Where are my natural head African queens at? Where are my all natural 5'5", 5'1", 5'4", 5'6", 5'2", 5'3", 5'8", 5'9", all natural, extra thick and curvy, conscious queens at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? All natural, extra curvy, super thick in the where my conscious African queens at? By the way, Date with the Doctor. Date with the Doctor is on and popping. Sisters who want a one-on-one private lunch with Dr. Umar, $500 donation to FDMG. $500 donation to FDMG. $500 donation to FDMG, and you get your private lunch with Dr. Umar. I pay for the lunch. We've already had our first date with the doctor. It's always confidential. Nobody ever knows who the queens are. It's always confidential. Nobody ever knows where the queens are. We had our first queen luncheon. We got another luncheon next week. Date with the doctor. $500 donation to FDMG gets you to Date with the Doctor. Hit the Cash App. $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App. $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App. $FDMG School. Hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. No, we meet for lunch. The queen will choose her restaurant in Philadelphia. She will choose her restaurant in Delaware. It's her choice. She could choose a restaurant in Philly. She could choose a restaurant in Delaware. She could choose a restaurant in South Jersey, but it has to be in my area. Now, if I'm in your area, if you catch me when I'm in Omaha, if you catch me when I'm in Syracuse, if you catch me when I'm in Ghana, if you catch me when I'm in Cameroon, if you catch me in your city, we can do lunch in your city. But outside of my travels, you have to come to where it's convenient for me. You choose the restaurant. I pay for the lunch. $500 donation. $500 donation. Hit the Cash App. Let me see if anybody hit the Cash App this morning. I'm on the school phone. I can't see if anybody hit the cash app. Back from Cameroon. Shout out to my Cameroonian Africans. Shout out to my Cameroonian Africans, my Limbe Africans, my Bimbia Africans, my Douala Africans, my Central Africans, Central African Republic Africans, my Congolese Africans, my Benin Africans, my Togolese Africans, my Ghanaian Africans, my Nigerian Africans, my Gambian Africans, my Liberian Africans, my Sierra Leone Africans, my Cote d'Ivoire Africans. It's King Kong. Good morning from Nat Turner Land. Good morning from Nat Turner Land. Good morning from Nat Turner Land. Happy 223rd Earth Day to the greatest revolutionary in American history. Happy 223rd Earth Day to the greatest revolutionary in American history. Happy 223rd Earth Day from the greatest revolutionary in African history. Omaha, Nebraska, December 2nd. Omaha, Nebraska. I want to see all my Nebraska Africans on December 2nd. All my Omaha, Nebraska Africans on December 2nd. All my Omaha, Nebraska Africans on December 2nd. Memphis, Tennessee. Thanksgiving weekend, Memphis, Tennessee. Thanksgiving weekend, Memphis, Tennessee. Thanksgiving weekend. I got to get ready to head on over to the Nat Turner Library. If you're pulling up, Virginia, pull up. I want to see my Hampton Africans today, my Richmond Africans today. I want to see my Petersburg Africans today, my Norfolk Africans, my Suffolk Africans, my Virginia Beach Africans. Everybody pull up to the Nat Turner Library today. 26070 Barhams Hill Road. 26070 Barhams Hill Road. 26070 Barhams Hill Road. Barhams. Barhams Hill Road in Druryville, Virginia. Druryville, Virginia. D-R-E-W-R-Y. D-R-E-W-R-Y-ville, Druryville, Virginia. Nat Turner Library, 26070. We will be out there today from 11 to 7. We will be out there today from 11 to 7. If you want to go on that tour, you need to get there by 12 o'clock. If you want to go on that tour, you need to get there by 12 o'clock. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.